Coming up, an Iowa City businesswoman may be heading to Congress. We've got more on her announcement next.
And later, can you kiss your student loans goodbye? One presidential candidate has a plan to cut down that debt.
Today we'll talk about some of the tallest and shortest All-Americans in Iowa. Stick around to see who in sports.
This week we will be seeing some very pleasant weather with temperatures reaching into the 70s for most of the week. Stay tuned for more on weather.
All that and more coming up on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere, DITV starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for tuning into this Tuesday, April 23rd edition of DITV. I'm John Chenoweth.
And I'm Mackenzie Cooper. Our top story this morning, a new candidate has announced their run for Congress.
Veronica Tesler is the first to file her candidacy for Iowa's 2nd congressional district in the 2020 election. Tesler owns the frozen yogurt shop Yotopia and is the co-founder of Maker's Loft in downtown Iowa City. She also works as a producer of the Iowa-based political podcast, Political Party Live. The 2nd congressional district seat is currently held by Dave Loebsack.
One presidential hopeful is making her mark amongst the 20 candidates for the Democratic nomination. Elizabeth Warren is proposing to implement universal free college and up to $50,000 worth of student loan cancellation. Here's how Warren explained the graduated system.
Anyone who's got outstanding student loan debt can have up to $50,000 worth of student loan debt canceled out so long as their income is under $100,000. Then it kind of steps in up to there's no help for anybody whose family income is above $250,000. And that's it. The debt's gone.
In Iowa alone, 63% of those who graduated in 2017 had graduated with some sort of debt. According to her policy, the plan would fully cancel out the debt for more than 75% of students with student debt. Warren is hoping that this plan will help with the issue of access for students.
Access problem for low-income students, for students of color, and that is, it's not just paying the tuition, it's how they pay for books, it's how they pay for the expenses of having a baby taken care of if they already have a child at home, or being able to cover commuting expenses, or maybe it's a chance to live in a dorm. That the way we build a future where everyone's got a chance is we start out by investing in their education.
Her plan is yet to have a legislation companion at this time.
Another 2020 presidential candidate has announced he is entering the race. Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton made his campaign announcement on Monday. He put out a YouTube video Monday morning in which he highlighted his military service and his time in Congress. Moulton is a 40-year-old Marine Corps veteran and was the first elected to Congress in 2014. He's planning to stop in New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, and Iowa later this week as he starts his campaign travel.
The 2020 census is coming upon us soon, and Iowa City is asking for the help of university students. According to Iowa City Assistant City Manager Ashley Monroe, university students often go uncounted on the census. She suggests that because students spend most of their year in Iowa City, they should be responding on the census as Iowa City residents. The Complete Count Committee, an effort to increase awareness of the census, plans to be working with the University of Iowa in the future to remind students.
You know, Mackenzie, the April showers were definitely in full effect yesterday, and honestly, all I'm really hoping today is that it doesn't rain on me when I'm trying to go home.
Yes, I agree. And also, we're about a week away from May, so hopefully that means those Mayflowers are about to sprout as well. Let's toss it to Maggie Minders in the weather studio with an update.
Hi guys, there actually won't be any rain coming up today, but this week we'll be looking at some nice sunny days and warmer temperatures. On Tuesday morning, there will be a high of 67 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. And moving into Tuesday evening, those skies will clear up, becoming partly cloudy, but temperatures will be dropping to a low of 44. This week we will be seeing some more of the sun and enjoying warm temperatures, so let's take a look at that extended forecast. On Wednesday, temperatures will reach a high of 71 and a low of 48. There will be partly cloudy skies. Moving into Thursday evening, those skies will remain partly cloudy with temperatures warming up slightly with a high of 74 and a low of 46. Once again on Friday, we will be seeing partly cloudy skies and a high of 69 and a low of 49. There will be some rain forming in the late evening, carrying over into Saturday. In the morning on Saturday, there will be a 50% chance of rain with some thunderstorms possible and a high of 67 and a low of 44. And finally on Sunday, those skies will be clearing up again with a high in the upper 60s and a low in the upper 40s. There's going to be some enjoyable weather coming through Iowa City this week, so make sure to get outside and soak up all that sun. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Maggie. Spring and summer rain showers bring chances of flooding, but that's not the only concern Iowans should be worried about. I sat down with Professor Gregory Lefevre to discuss the other dangers that stormwater can bring.
Rain, what may be calm and peaceful to most, has sparked a lifelong passion and career for UI Civil and Environmental Engineering Professor Gregory Lefevre. Lefevre's complex work has earned him numerous awards, all while focusing on the effects of stormwater.
So in the biggest picture perspective, my research is about understanding contaminants in the environment and how they change.
And those pollutants can be difficult to track due to changes in the environment, resulting in negative effects to our resources such as drinking water. With the complexity the job requires, there has to be quite a bit of passion involved.
So I've always been interested in environmental work since forever. Some of the earliest memories I have were doing restoration field work when I was like 5 with my dad.
By studying water quality, Lefevre is trying to find new approaches to keep waste out of our water.
I've been studying stormwater before it was cool to study stormwater, and now people are becoming much more aware of the impacts of stormwater on our water quality, and there's a lot of exciting opportunities to try to integrate green stormwater infrastructure into our cities, and also take the technologies that we develop for that and apply it to all types of non-point source pollutants.
And Lefevre hopes that his findings can be tweaked and applied to other areas impacted by the environment, making Iowa City and beyond a little more safe.
For more on Lefevre's work and recent award win, visit dailyiowan.com.
Legal sports betting may soon be a reality in Iowa. Lawmakers passed a bill Wednesday night that would let Iowans place wagers at local casinos. It would allow for Iowans to make bets on fantasy sports websites like DraftKings and FanDuel. The legislation is still pending an approval from Governor Kim Reynolds. She has yet to make a public statement on whether she will sign the bill into law or not.
Well, John, unfortunately with that bill, you cannot bet on college sports, so it doesn't look like we'll be betting on any Hawkeyes soon.
Dang it, I really wanted to, but at least I won't have to lose any money. Although I did hear, some Hawkeyes had some major accomplishments over the weekend. Let's toss it over to the sports studio to find out what those were.
Yeah, it's a sad day for a lot of Hawkeye fans, but this weekend, 3 members of the men's gymnastics team earned All-American honors at the NCAA tournament. Senior Jake Brutazon and freshman Stuart Brown earned their All-American status on the parallel bars, and junior Herodor earned his on the high bar. Sophomore Bennett Huang finished in the top for the all-around event, wrapping up Iowa's season. But the men's gymnastics team wasn't the only one earning some national honors this weekend. Megan Gustafson won the Honda Sport Award for basketball. This Collegiate Women's Sports Award gives this award out to the athlete they believe represents the best of the best in college athletics. Gustafson was the first consensus National Player of the Year in Big Ten history and the only player in Women's Division I basketball history to average over 27 points, 13 rebounds, and shoot over 70% from the field. With this award, Gustafson becomes a finalist for the Collegiate Woman Athlete of the Year, which will be announced in June. Now, a few weeks ago, Gustafson heard her name called in the WNBA draft, and on Thursday night, Noah Fant is hoping that'll be the case for him at the NFL draft. Fant sat out the bowl game and left Iowa early to train for the NFL draft, but now he's back enjoying his time in Iowa City.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of, fit right back in. It was good seeing all the guys and everything. And, this is kind of be my home base for the next month or so, taking in team visits and things like that. So, I had a good time training out in California, though, and it was a lot of fun out there, and it was good to kind of, eliminate all distractions and get out there and really focus on what I was trying to do. So.
And that time training out in California helped Fant put together really strong performances at both the Combine and Pro Day that helped lead some good conversations with NFL teams.
My performance was very well-rounded. You know, my biggest thing for me was bench, and I was able to bench, you know, with amongst, you know, some of the higher tight ends, and I felt pretty good about it. I felt like it, you know, it wasn't only speed or jumping. It was a pretty well-rounded performance. At the Combine, I had like 22 formal interviews, so it was a lot of teams asking, you know, how my time was at Iowa, what my career was like, how I felt about things, and it was all very open conversation, and not, you know, obviously not going to put a front on or anything like that, and so it was all very, you know, authentic conversations and very good conversations. I had very good meetings with pretty much all the teams I met with. So,
with his Combine results and those conversations with NFL teams, Fan has to be feeling pretty good heading into the draft on Thursday, but is making sure he'll go into the draft well aware that he has no idea where he'll end up.
You know, you could be picked at 8 or 9, or you could be picked at 43. You know, anything could happen. You know, especially with teams picking up guys in free agency, things have already changed. If teams trade up or trade down, things will change again. So there's no real way to predict it, just kind of knowing I put my best foot forward and hoping for the best.
Now, Fant may have no idea where he'll hear his name called, but we're pretty positive he'll hear his name in the early to late parts of the first round. He's very athletic, has good speed, and is a challenge for any defender, and particularly linebackers. But Fant's biggest competition in the draft, none other than Iowa's TJ Hawkinson. So those two will definitely battle it out for the first tight end off the board. Now, there's no doubt the Iowa offense will miss the two-headed monster at tight end, and today we're hoping to get some answers on how they'll replace those guys and how the team is going to shape up during the spring season. DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodine is outside of the Iowa Football Performance Center to preview Iowa football's press conference today.
Today, we will hear from offensive coordinator Brian Ferentz and defensive coordinator Phil Parker for the first time this spring season. Now, looking at the offense, the biggest question we're going to have for Ferentz today is how is Nate Stanley looking and who is he going to throw the ball to next year without Noah Fant, TJ Hawkinson, and Nick Easley? We don't have a whole lot of questions about the running back situation right now because Iowa's got 3 experienced guys coming into this season. So the big question is how is Iowa going to make up for that talent that we lost from graduation and the NFL draft? And looking at the defense, the biggest question for Phil Parker is the secondary. The D-line and the linebackers are all bringing in some pretty experienced players, so we know what we're getting there. But with the secondary, we lost Amani Hooker and Jake Gervais, and Iowa's got to make up that productivity somehow. So that's the biggest question we're going to have for Parker today. And we plan to get answers for all those questions today at the press conference. Reporting from outside the Iowa football complex, Lucy Rodine, DITV Sports.
Now, as Lucy mentioned, you can come back tomorrow to DITV Sports to hear what Brian Ferentz and Phil Parker had to say. Back to you at the desk.
That's all we have for you on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And if that is enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on Stands Now.
For DITV, I'm John Chenoweth.
And I'm Mackenzie Cooper. Have a great day, Iowa City.
DITV is celebrating their achievements from the 2019 Iowa Broadcast News Association Awards, being named the #1 college news station in Iowa. The IBNA has also recognized DITV with Best Sportscast featuring Lucy Rodine and Natalie Accapetti, Best Weather Coverage from DITV's Weather Team, a first place finish in spot news coverage by Noah Gowdy, a second place finish for an in-depth series by Bo Bowman, second and third place finishes for Best Newscast produced by Anthony Caligiuri and Becca Scadden. Feature reporting and political coverage by Sydney Zatz. Excellence in reporting, general reporting, and public affairs by Caitlin Cluck. And finally, excellence in anchoring featuring Anthony Caligiuri, Mackenzie Cooper, and Becca Scadden. We'd like to thank the University of Iowa community and viewers like you for your continued support of DITV.